Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. In this video, I am going to be doing my preview for the upcoming match between the Hurricanes and the Chiefs. That is going to be happening later on tonight when this video comes out. But if you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. But yeah, let's get right into this preview. Right, so the match is between the Hurricanes and the Chiefs at Sky Stadium, 7:05 PM kickoff. It is between the two sides that haven't been able to pick up a win in this Super Rugby Aotearoa competition so far. Although the Chiefs, unfortunately for them, they haven't been able to pick up a win in Super Rugby Aotearoa in general, but maybe that is about to change. I feel like the Chiefs in this match, looking at their lineup, it is looking pretty decent, and the Hurricanes, they have had quite a few injuries in the past few weeks, so maybe this is the best chance for the Chiefs to be able to beat the Hurricanes, get their first win of Super Rugby Aotearoa 2021 and move themselves just a little bit further up the table. But of course the Hurricanes, they aren't going to give up too easily. They have still got a lot of talent in that lineup, and I am going to be running through those lineups very soon for you guys. But the last two times that these teams met, both results went the Hurricanes' way. They were in Super Rugby Aotearoa 2020. The first match was played at FMG Stadium, 25 to the Hurricanes, 18 to the Chiefs. So the Hurricanes are able to pick up that win. Then the next match was played at Sky Stadium. The Hurricanes were able to get that win, 31 points to 18, and they were able to get the bonus point in that match as well, the Hurricanes. And they will be wanting to score quite a few points against this Chiefs side, because a bonus point at this stage might be the difference between some of these teams who haven't had the best start to Super Rugby Aotearoa. That could be the difference between making it to the final or getting knocked out of the competition. Right, so I will run through the lineups quickly. So for the Hurricanes, they have got the front three of Numia, Ricatelli, and then also Lomax. So they are missing a Safa-Mua. That is because of a shoulder injury that is unfortunately leaving him out of this game. I'm not too sure how serious that injury is, but if that leaves them out of a few more of these matches coming up, that could be a big hit for the Hurricanes, as at the moment it doesn't seem like Dane Coles will be playing. I'm not sure what is happening in that regard, whether or not he is going to be playing any games for the Hurricanes this season, or whether he might be looking at either retirement or possibly going overseas. But at this stage, he is nowhere to be found. For the Hurricanes, just losing a Safa-Mua in that 4-pack is absolutely huge for them. A Safa-Mua, he was able to score 2 tries in the opening game against the Blues. Looked like he was going to be a big key in that 4-pack for the Hurricanes, but then he did get injured in the next game against the Crusaders, and that really halted his momentum. But he is still right up there in terms of the leading try scorers of the competition. Right, now we move to the locks. Number 4 is going to be James Blackwell. Number 5 is going to be Isaiah Walker-Leawere. So they are also missing Scott Scrafton in that regard. He did have an injury, and I believe it was the first match of the season. Very unfortunate for them. I believe there was some sort of leg injury, and that is leaving him out of this match as well. So straight away, that is 2 injuries for the Hurricanes, and that isn't all of them. We will find out one more a little bit later on in the lineup. But then you lose forward 6 Reed Prinsep, 7 Duplessis Karefi, and number 8 Artie Savia. Now those 3, I say it in pretty much all of the Super Rugby Aotearoa previews, the 3 who are playing loose forwards in these teams, they have been making a big impact on the field when it comes to those rucks, and also when it comes to the tackles that your team makes. In the last match that was played between the Hurricanes and the Chiefs, Karefi was the man who made the most tackles with 12, and I feel like he may need to do that once again against the Chiefs, because the Chiefs in the match against the Crusaders were very strong throughout it, but the Chiefs, they still had their moments, and they were able to break through early on in that first half. So I feel like if they can do that against the Hurricanes as well, put them under a bit of pressure, then the Hurricanes, they will have to fight back hard. But the games in Super Rugby Aotearoa so far, a lot of them have been games of 2 halves. So maybe it will be the Chiefs in the first half and the Hurricanes will fight back in the second. Now we move to number 9, Luke Campbell. He is getting his first start. Tamatine is going to be on the bench. Of course, Jamie Booth is injured from the Mitre 10 Cup, so he is one of their halfbacks who they haven't got. Another one that they haven't got anymore is TJ Perenara. He is over in Japan. He is looking decent for his side as well. But Luke Campbell here, he did look decent off the bench in the last match, so I am hoping he will have a decent run here. And then the man who is going to be in the number 10 jersey, Auburn Ledger, he has had the call up. He was playing for Counties Manukau, and now he is in that Hurricanes number 10 jersey. That is because of the injury of Jackson Garden-Basham. I'm actually not too sure what that injury is, but he is missing this game. So Auburn Ledger, big opportunity for him. He looks like he is dangerous with ball in hand, and hopefully he will be able to help the Hurricanes get a few points on the board. Then you've got those centres, and it is going to be Narila Mape and Billy Proctor. So that is a good strong centre combo for the Hurricanes, and I feel like that is what they need, a little bit of stability in that backline. And then on the wings, they have got Salisi Rayasi, who's getting his first start, and Julian Savia is going to be in that number 14 jersey for this one. So those are two strong wingers as well. Salisi Reasi with his pace and his offloads. Julian Savia with his pure strength on that side could be very useful. And that's going to be an interesting matchup on that side because Julian Savia, he's going to be marking Atenai Nano Satoro, the man who has beaten the most defenders throughout the Super Rugby Aotearoa competition. 16 in 2 matches, 14 of which came in the match against the Highlanders. So that is going to be a very exciting matchup to watch. It is going to be the speed and the quick feet of Nanai Satoro versus the bus. And we're going to have to wait and see who is going to get the better of that one. And then in fullback, it is going to be Geordie Barrett for the Hurricanes. I know there was a bit of talk of whether or not he would move into that number 10 jersey. But a few of the coaches said he is playing very well at fullback. Was one of the top fullbacks in the competition last year. So that is where he is going to be staying. And we are going to have Auburn Ledger there in that number 10 jersey. So overall, I feel that is a pretty good lineup for the Hurricanes. And I feel like having a couple of those younger players, such as Auburn Ledger, such as Campbell, getting kind of pushed into that starting lineup, maybe it could do the Hurricanes a world of good because of the fact that, you know, those young guys who are getting their chance, they're going to put 110% into this match and hope that they will be able to keep on starting in the matches to come, make a name for themselves, because this is their big chance. An injury, it's not good for the man who gets injured, but it can be very good for the man who is replacing him, who could then possibly secure that spot. So we will have to wait and see how that goes. Now we move to the Chiefs. Number 1 Ross, number 2 Tokiaho, and number 3 is going to be Angus Tavos. So a strong front row. Now the scrum of the Crusaders, it was causing a few issues for the Chiefs. That is where a few of the penalties in the match came from. And unfortunately, yeah, that Crusaders forward pack is just looking very strong. I did a preview yesterday about that Crusaders forward pack up against the Blues. It's going to be a good match, and that is going to be happening tomorrow when this video comes out. So the locks behind that front 3 are going to be Tupava'ai and then Ngātaua Koi. So they will be matching up against Blackwell and Walker Leawere. So both sides actually do have quite young, inexperienced sides, you could say. But I feel like that is what makes New Zealand rugby so good, is the fact that even if you've got those guys who aren't so well known, like they're going to be able to have a very good game, I feel. Like the likes of Tupava'ai, we saw in the Tri-Nations, he did very well. And Ngātaua Koi, a young and upcoming talent. So I am excited to see those two combine once again. They did combine in the first match up against the Highlanders, did decently. So I am hoping they will be able to do the same again. Now we move to the loose forwards, and it is going to be Mitchell Brown, Sam Kane, and Luke Jacobson. Now, a big fact about Luke Jacobson for this one, he had a very good showing in the last match that these two sides played for Super Rugby Aotearoa 2020. It was round 9. He was able to get 3 turnovers won during that match and also make 9 tackles. And off the back of the scrum in the match against the Highlanders, he was almost looking unstoppable, Luke Jacobson. So if he can do the same up against the Hurricanes, it could put them under some real pressure. And maybe he will be able to get himself another try like he did in that match against the Highlanders. Now we will move on to number 9, Brad Weber once again. And then number 10, a little bit of an interesting one. It is going to be Caleb Trask. He is back from his injury. No sign of Bryn Gatlin. I'm not sure whether he's injured or whether he is just having a spell in this match. But Caleb Trask, an up-and-coming young talent once again. We have got a lot of young players here that maybe a few of these guys we will see in the World Cup squad when we get to 2023. That is how good some of these young players are in this match, and I am looking forward to seeing them play. And then on that left wing, it is going to be Atenai Nano Satoro, like I said, marking up with Julian Savia. In the centres, it is going to be Quinn Tupaia and also Anton Leonard Brown. So a strong centre pairing for the Chiefs as well. And then out on that right wing, it isn't going to be Sean Stevenson this week. It is going to be Jonah Lowe, a player who did come from the Hurricanes originally. So it is going to be interesting to see how he goes up against his former side. And then at the back, number 15, Damian McKenzie, very solid player so far. He is tying with Teddy Black for the leading point scorer in the competition with 30. He is ahead of Richie Mo'unga, but for how long, that is the big question, because Richie Mo'unga at the moment is playing on another level as well. But Damian McKenzie has picked himself up 2 tries so far in the Super Rugby Aotearoa competition, so he will be hoping to make it 3, maybe become the top try scorer and the top point scorer, but we will have to wait and see. But Damian McKenzie in that fullback role, very strong and a good way to finish off the back line. Now we move to the reserves. And these two sides, like I said in the starting lineup, it's probably one of the most inexperienced benches that both sides have put on the table so far in this Super Rugby Aotearoa competition. But just because they are inexperienced doesn't mean that they won't be able to have a good game. We got players in there like Samisoni Finau. He had a good game when he did get to play up against the Highlanders, I believe it was. Also, Devon Flanders so far. He looks like he could be a decent player for the Hurricanes and definitely coming off the bench as well in the later stages of this match. Then you got Tamatine Umaga-Jensen and Wes Houston for the Hurricanes backs. Now, Peter Umaga-Jensen, the last time these two sides played, he was able to actually get 2 tries in the first half, so that is very impressive, and he will be hoping to make an impact off the bench once again. And then for the Chiefs, you have got Tahuri Orangi, Alex Nankervis, and also Chase Tiatia, another ex-Hurricanes player, so it could be interesting when he makes his way onto the field. But those are the spare backs, and I feel like if those guys can slot into that back line nicely when they do get brought onto the field, I feel like that could be what gets one of these sides to win. I don't think it will end up being a one-sided affair. I think this is going to be a very close match between these two sides. And I guess the bonus of that is whoever loses that match, they will still get the 1 point for being within 7. But both of these sides, they will be hungry and they will want to get that first win of the season, get them underway and slowly work their way up the table. But nonetheless, I think that's almost going to be the end of this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are going to be doing our watch along live stream for the match a little bit later on, so be sure to tune in for that. But nonetheless, I will see you all in the next one.